Developing the story. The key to a great video is not snappy dialogue or amazing mind-blowing special effects, or being blown away by the presentation's 5K quality. No, the key to a great video is the story. In fact, a great story with poor production value is better than 1,000 horribly boring stories with $1 billion production cost. That is why some movies made 50, 60, even 80 years ago are still loved today, while some unnamed movies of today are despised, even though some of them have the highest production values in history, with effects that they could not even dream possible 80 years ago. So, what makes a good story? Good storytelling doesn't just tell audience what happened in the character's life, it gives them the experience of that life. It allows the audience relive events in the present, so they can understand the forces, choices, and emotions that led the character to do what he is doing. For example, the Charlie Brown Christmas special is still the most beloved and watched Christmas special of all times. It is a great story about Charlie Brown and his friends, a bunch of kids in the early 1960s. Charlie Brown goes on a journey, trying to find out what is the real meaning of Christmas, and why he is so miserable. The high point of the story is when Linus reads from Luke chapter 2 about the birth of Christ.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown, I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were so
There have been hundreds of Christmas specials that came after Charlie Brown Christmas Special. All of them have effects and music far superior to Charlie Brown Christmas Special. But you will never find one more beloved. A great story captures the person's imagination and carries them into a world they always wanted to go. You as the writer are constructing a kind of puzzle about your character and asking the audience to figure it all out. You do this in two ways. First, you tell the audience certain information about the made-up character. Then, you withhold certain information so they can figure it out in the story. When the audience no longer has to figure out the story, they cease being an audience, and the story stops being a story and it becomes just a lecture. Okay, so, how do you begin? You start by constructing your idea into a premise line, which is a one-sentence synopsis of the story. A premise is just like a movie poster or an illustrated cover of a book. It paints a simple image of what's inside, but not much more. Take your time with this, make changes when necessary, and make sure it is what you want. After the premise, you need to create an outline of the entire story. A script outline or screenplay outline is a scene-by-scene breakdown of your movie. The outline helps you turn your premise into a full-fledged story. A thorough script outline includes plot points and story beats, which include an inciting incident, a rising action, and the climax. Scene descriptions. A brief description of the action in each scene. Character arcs. Every key character has to go through an emotional arc in your story, especially your main character. Dialogue snippets. Key dialogue lines for each scene. Only after you have finished the outline can you write your script. It doesn't matter if your video is going to be 30 seconds long or 2 hours. A script is mandatory. There are 3 things that will make creating your premise line, outline, and script flow better. By clearly defining the overall purpose, the target audience, and the main tone of the story. Purpose. Purpose is the main reason why you are writing the story. There are 4 main purposes. Education. This is where you want the viewer to learn a skill on a specific subject. Math, science, Bible, English, or another discipline. The purpose of education is for the viewer to not just memorize facts, but understand concepts, and have a love for the subject. Both Schoolhouse Rock and Sesame Street are great examples. Promoting an idea. This is when you want a user to come along with your way of thinking. Unlike education, this is more of persuading the audience that your ideas about a specific subject is true. Skeptics and apologetics both use this story type. Examples include God is Not Dead and the God Delusions. Selling a product. The purpose is to sell a specific piece of merchandise. Basically, it's a commercial. This can be a 30 seconds TV or internet commercial, to a full 2-hour movie, like the Transformers and G.I. Joe. Entertainment. These are stories made for pure enjoyment value. The creator has little interest in convincing you of anything or selling you anything. They just want you to laugh, or get scared, or cry, or feel really good about yourself for a while. The Marvel Phase 1 movies were like that. They had no agenda, just made for pure entertainment. Now, these categories are not set in stone. Oh no, they all mix and match. In fact, most stories have element of 2 or more at the same time. However, all of them have one main purpose. Sesame Street main emphasis is education, but it also entertains and promotes specific ideas. Target audience. Who exactly are you making the story for? You really need to be brutally honest and direct about who you are trying to reach with your story. Gender. Are you writing a story to reach males or females, or do you want to reach both? Age group. Children, teens, young adults, middle-aged adults, and seniors. Each one likes specific things in their stories. Or are you going for people of all ages? Interest level. Are you writing to people who love your subject, or people who are curious about your subject, or to people who hate your subject, but you are trying to change their minds about it? Tone and theme. Once you get your purpose and target audience down, you can nail down the tone and theme of your story. Is the story going to be light, or dark? A hero's journey, or a tragedy? Nail-biting thriller, or a thought-provoking drama? A whodunit with a twist, or a predictable melodrama? Whatever the tone and theme, always keep in mind your purpose and target audience,